the final boss fight.
Yeah. Yo, Vergil Ortiz, our fucking dude.
Yeah.
Our dude. You're just a pleasure to watch, dude. I love how you approach fights. I love how you come at people. Pause. I love how you just come. Every fucking angle you have, every punch you have. And the dude that you were fighting, Hooker, we'll speak about him in a minute. Let's speak about him now. Hooker, I just don't know if he has it. I know he was a former world champ. I know he spars with Bud. He seems like he has a lot of potential. When he's pressed, he has a lot of fire back, and I like the fight that he had. I like the dog he has in him. But, man, I just don't see it. The slappy jab.
Yeah.
If he really worked on it, it would be a major weapon because he's long as shit.
Yeah, he has a super long reach. I think the problem is footwork. His feet are a little heavy. So it just ended up like he ended up throwing the jab, and then Virgil would just rush him, and he couldn't get out of the way to reset
it's
in
like
time.
A slapping jab, which is fine if you have power behind it, but it's just...
Yeah, it felt like it was a lot of arm punching, and then when he did turn his body, I didn't feel like he had a lot of power on it. Virgil surprised me, man. He's got quick feet.
Yeah.
I was not expecting him to have that quick of feet. I mean, the way he was rolling with the punches, the way he was sidestepping stuff, I was not ready for that.
Yeah, and Virgil, man, answer this for me. I'll DM you and ask you this, bro. But what did you do to have such balance while you're fighting? Because there's a lot of great fighters with a lot of great balance. Like Errol Spence is another one that just has amazing balance when he's throwing hard punches. But, bro, you have these punches that look like you fucking wind up and are throwing and throwing and throwing. I have no idea how you stay on balance, bro. And this is coming from somebody who's been boxing for a minute, never professionally. I'm never that good. But, damn it, when I'm throwing, I automatically am always leaning and leaning. So if you can, please tell me what the fuck you did to have that amazing balance.
Or what Robert Garcia is teaching you, because Mikey's the same way. Like, they never look like they're resetting.
Yes.
They're always in the kill zone. I don't know how that's done. Like,
yeah, shout out to Robert Garcia, dude. Your stable of fighters is just incredible right now, man. Virgil and Mikey are never going to fight, right?
No.
Why not?
They train together. Mikey, I don't know. I think Mikey wants the big money fights, and then he's going to get out. Mikey never really loved the sport.
Right, and he said that.
Yeah, he always says that. He's like, I just happen to be really good at it, but I don't think he fights for the love of the sport, so I think he's trying to get his Pacquiao fight.
Okay.
Maybe get one more big money fight and call it a day. I don't really think...
What if they throw like $5 million at both of them? And
they both have the same trainer. They've been sparring together this whole time. They're probably close.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to do it.
And it seems like Virgil has a lot of respect, man. Yo, Virgil, your post-fight interview was the best... best thing I've seen in a long time, man. One, you come off extremely like confident, and I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a way that somebody who knows who they are. So like bless you on that, man. And humble as shit. And then when you tried to speak Spanish and you said it, you were like, look, I'm learning Spanish, and then you went for it and had to bail out. And look, dude, I barely speak Spanish, and I'm Mexican too, so like I know the feeling, and like Mexicans look at you a certain way. Trust me, I get it. But you did it, and when you bailed out of it, it made it even more fun and more charming. So, dude, all respect to you because I know what it's like, and all respect to you for even trying to learn a language you didn't grow up doing, man. So, all love and respect, man.
And the best part about that interview for me, besides the fact that he called out Bud, but we'll talk about that in a second, was the fact that he started off the interview giving credit to his opponent. I have so much respect for fighters that do that. He said, man, Maurice is tough. Yeah. He's a good fighter. He hit me with some good shots. I thought that was dope to do. That's not necessary, you know? Like, he didn't have to shout him out. He didn't have to do all that, but he did. So that was cool for me. Like, I really enjoyed the fact that he did that. Bud in the crowd, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So, Virgil so the announcer or the reporter was trying to get Virgil to call somebody out. Virgil was like, look, I'm never going to talk anything bad about any boxers out there, and I really respect that. And then the guy was like, well, we have Bud and we have Errol Spence in the crowd. Is there anything you want to say to them? And he's like, well, no, I want the fight. And then he's like, people are saying, oh, well, do you think you're ready for it? And he said, from ready or not, I want the fight. And I was like, oh my God, because I've never heard anybody say that, because there's so many fighters who are scared to lose their O. And I get it, man. You want to be the Mayweathers of the world, right? You want to be undefeated and you want to go out like that. But to have the balls to say, look, no, I want to take on the best, so I could find out where the fuck I stand in that category.
And I love the interaction with Bud because a lot of people don't realize Bud's not the mean guy.
Super fun.
He was funny. He was like doing the throat thing. He's like, you're not ready.
Like, you don't want this.
But it seemed like it was just genuinely playful but competitive at the same time. I love that interaction.
Yeah.
as far as the fight, man, I thought Virgil put on a virtuoso performance.
Absolutely.
I only gave Hooker 1 round. I think I gave him the 4th round, but it was still a close round.
Yeah, he wasn't getting washed by any means.
No, he was landing some shots. How about the announcer saying, "Oh, well, he's not really hurting Hooker because it's not showing on his face."
And we were like, yo, he's black. He's a black man. What do you expect to see on his face?
People, for anybody listening out there, if you take anything that's dark brown and you paint it red or pink, it's not going to show up because it's darker.
Yes.
So of course the shots that Virgil's landing aren't going to show up on Hooker's face.
Right.
He's darker than I am.
Yes.
Hello.
So of course you're going to see the marks on Virgil's face because we have like similar complexions, man. You could slap me right now, please don't. You can slap me right now, and you're going to see the marks on my face.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're getting washed. But man, all respect to Hooker as well because he did come to fight, and I will talk about his post fight. So if you didn't see it, it's controversial, at least to me, because Virgil landed a few shots, right, towards the end of the fight. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, Hooker was throwing something. It looked like it landed directly on Virgil's shoulder, his right shoulder, or on his collarbone.
Yeah.
And immediately, Hooker went down and was grabbing his arm or his elbow. We couldn't tell what happened. Did you read anything? Is it the wrist, elbow? What was it?
I didn't read anything. There's nothing out, I don't think. The problem with that was, as he was throwing that shot to Virgil's left shoulder or whatever it was, he ate a big right hand.
Yeah, and he got knocked out, a round or two before?
Yeah, he was eating hard body shots. He got knocked down to where I didn't think he was going to get up the round before. So it kind of felt inevitable either way. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say he took a dive because I wasn't in there. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to me, the makeup of Hooker, he wouldn't.
I agree.
He wouldn't quit.
I agree.
That guy stood in there all night in the pocket and slugged it out for his welterweight debut, by the way, against somebody that had 16 knockouts and 16 fights.
Yeah.
He ain't scared of shit. If he could have gone on, he would have gone on. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But it was a really, really entertaining fight. There was times where I was scared that Virgil was going to get caught with something.
Same.
And he did, but he ate it, man. I was like, oh, okay, Virgil's got a chin on top of everything else. Yeah. Like, this kid's got it all, man. So, the post-fight.
Please talk about it.
So, Chris Mannix, let me say something to you. It is not a good idea when you're interviewing somebody after a fight and they've lost to only ask them about their opponent. You never said, hey, what were you doing in there?
Oh, yeah.
You only asked them questions about Vergil Ortiz. That is so disrespectful. Mm-hmm. So Maurice was already pissed off. I could tell, being a Southern boy, he's kind of hard to understand, but I can understand what he was doing. You could kind of hear it in his voice like he was annoyed because Chris Mannix goes, so what was it like facing Vergil Ortiz? How was his power? What did Virgil do that you were surprised by? Yeah. Never a question about what you were trying to do in the fight. So he's already annoyed. Then the fans start booing.
Yeah.
So like you can see the temperature gauge on Maurice Hooker just rise.
Right.
He goes finally, hey y'all booing, man, y'all don't worry, fuck y'all.
And goes back to the crowd like this, and then goes out of the ring as if he's gonna chase a fan down.
And Terence Crawford starts laughing. Like Terence Crawford didn't even try to hold him back. He's just sitting there laughing.
Yeah. But the heart of it, man, was so good. And like that's why I like Hooker, because it was real. Everything he was saying was real. His response was real. I just lost the fight. You guys are booing me. It was a predominantly Mexican crowd. I mean, they're in Texas, but there's no reason to boo.
I stood and traded with him, and your guy won. Why are you booing me?
He didn't say, he didn't say he was hurt. He didn't say it was this. He did say he broke his hand, but like, it's not an excuse, motherfucker. He legit did it.
And he didn't go at the crowd. He didn't say fuck Mexicans or anything. Why are you booing him?
And he showed Virgil nothing but respect. He was like, look, I got nothing bad to say. He's a good dude. Chris Mannix asked him again, do you think Virgil could take on the upper echelon of talent? And what the fuck do you want Hooker to say?
I'm injured. I just got my ribs broken. I just lost a fight, and you're asking me about a fantasy matchup between two people that don't involve me?
But what do you want him to say? Do you want him to say, yeah, the dude whooped my ass, so I'm sure he could whoop? No.
Yeah, it was
and
just
he answered him honestly. He was like, look, I don't think he could beat Bud. I don't think he could beat Errol Spence. This is honest opinion. He's not a hater for that.
So now the fun part. Is Virgil ready? Let's analyze it a little bit.
Look, we talked about it a little last night. I don't think he would win a fight against Terence Crawford now or Errol Spence now. I think they're a little too big for him. I think they're a little too strong. But he's a fucking wild card, man. Virgil just has that X factor where I don't know what's going to happen. And he has the heart to fight anybody, and he has the heart to win or lose. Not a lot of fighters have that. They say they do, but Virgil has it for real. I don't know. If they fought tomorrow, my money's on Bud or Spence. But what do you think?
I think that those two guys are the favorites, but I don't know that Virgil can't beat him.
Same.
Because especially with Bud, what's the one thing we always say about Bud that we're worried about? He gets angry, he gets in the pocket, he starts to get a little wild.
Yes.
If you get wild in the pocket with Virgil,
Yes.
your chin ain't gonna hold up. I don't care who you are. That dude can thump.
Yep.
So that's the thing I worry about. With Errol, I think Errol will probably just do what he did to Mikey.
Oh, he's so proper.
Yeah, did he did to Michael Garcia on the fight? He just used the jab all night and didn't sit down any of his punches. That's what he's going to do against Virgil. No, I just think he's going to use his jab, not get into a firefight, try to just stay at distance. I think Virgil probably could walk him down, but I think the Crawford fight is interesting because Crawford doesn't like to just stick and move, even though he's perfectly capable of doing that. Crawford is a fucking savage.
So mean.
He wants that scalp for his wall.
Yeah, man.
He's got 11 to 12 guys knocked out. He's coming for 12.
Yep.
12 out of 13 against Virgil. So with that, it gives Virgil a better chance to land something big and to be competitive. And so I'm not going to sit here and say I'm picking against him. I think Crawford's the favorite, obviously, for a reason. He's earned that. But I'm not going to say Virgil ain't ready because I don't know if he is or not. Muhammad Ali at the same age took on Sonny Liston when nobody thought he had a chance.
That's right.
Sonny Liston would blow on somebody and knock him out.
That's right.
Ali went in there and whooped his ass. We thought Teofimo, well, at least I did. I thought Teo wasn't ready for Loma. He did it. There's been countless times where guys have stepped up in competition. Floyd Mayweather fought Gennaro Hernandez. He was around the same age.
What's our boy's name? Chico.
Yeah.
Fought Chico. Everybody was like, he's too small for him.
Chico Corrales was knocking everybody out. Floyd went in there and knocked him down like 6 times.
Yeah.
You just never know until you get in there. Yeah, so I don't know that Virgil isn't ready. I'm not going to necessarily pick against him. I think Crawford's the favorite, obviously. He's earned that mantle, but
I will take the bet, man. I'm going to bet big on Virgil because if he does win.
Yeah, man. Money. Money.